We are back. So, a while ago, 1 or 2 episodes ago, I haven't quite decided yet, we had a quick look at KDE productivity applications that are available on Haiku. And I said, next time let's have a look at education. But this is going to be a little bit different because I don't really feel like installing, a dozen of these, and then it's still just a sample. I'd rather like to point you towards the KDE app website, apps.kde.org. All right, where we now are looking at the education division. We'll have a look at the other categories in a moment. And there they've got it all listed. And that is very, very extensive. Now, it's important to realize we do not have all of these in Haiku. Right? We've got, I'd estimate about half of them. Right? And if you really want to be very obsessive about it, then I suppose you could check them each one by one. So how do you know if Haiku has a specific KDE application? Well, the packageman command. I always say that. I suppose you should say PKG man. I'll just say packageman. Has a search function. Right? Packageman search. And so I have searched here, and it turns out we do not have articulate. Right? So always remember it's lowercase. We do have K letters. Learn the alphabet. So from there on it's install and there we go. So while that's happening, what if you really wanted to have articulate done? Have that available, and you don't have the skills to port it yourself? Well, you go to the Haiku forum, and there's a thread there called port requests, and you say, hey, I really need articulate because I'm learning French, and its pronunciation is almost impossible. I don't actually know if that program has French, but it's an example. I suppose if you click on it, you could actually see what languages. Français, yeah. Oh. Right, and if you're lucky, then somebody will say, hey, there's a demand for this, and they'll be intrigued by the coding challenge, and a few weeks later it'll be available. That's how it works with Haiku. If you can show that there's a demand and there's somebody who's interested in providing it, then sooner or later it may happen. Or there may be a technical reason why this particular program just doesn't compile, or is, this is a program that's going to use the audio subsystem, and that is always a tricky one, translating Linux audio subsystems, because there are 3 or 4 of them, to the Haiku audio. So that one might actually be a problem for that reason. Somebody might say, well, I tried to, I see the video is hiding the emblem on my chest. Okay, okay, so let's just go through it. So these are the language-related games, programs rather. Right, then there's mathematics, which I could have used when I was at school. All right, and miscellaneous. I know we've got this one. I'm pretty sure we got that one and that one. Right, science. Okay, some of these look pretty mathematical as well. See, but we've got, there you go. We've got marble, which is a virtual globe. We've got marble maps. So we've got the native and navigation, no, not native, ported navigation application. Planetarium. Okay, so that is the educational program. But of course you go to categories and to games. Now, I'm not a gamer, I told you, but these KDE games tend to be the smaller, simpler ones. Tetris, Pac-Man, that sort of thing. Rather than terabytes of data and that. I don't want to say I play them, but yeah, I've got time for these little games. Logic games, well, that's educational in its own right, right? Right, and there are other categories. Let's have a look. Graphics. We've talked about some of these in the previous episode, and I think we've got quite a few of these. And so forth with all the other categories. Same system, same principle applies. You see something here that we haven't got it, then hop onto the forum and ask. And if somebody else pipes up and says, yeah, I would also like to have that, then you got a better chance of getting it than if you just wait and do nothing. Because we know these things will compile, although they may need a bit of jiggling, and the more people say that this would be really useful, the more the developers know that there's a demand for this, and let's see what we can do to get it into Haiku. We've already got I'd say about half of this. So this is a fairly easy way for you, if you're not a developer, don't know how to port programs, how to adjust them to the Haiku environment. You know, just by letting people know that this would be really useful for me, you're contributing. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day after that. And thanks for watching.